Hey everybody, welcome back to the Cisco Identity Services Engine series. Over the last couple of weeks, we've spent time talking about different features with Cisco ISE, features that can help elevate your security posture at the organization. All of these areas and all of these conversations have led up to the conversations we will have in the next couple of weeks, which is segmentation. Different organizations find themselves in their different areas and different phases of their segmentation journey. Sometimes they might just be stuck in the VLAN phase of things, just deploying different VLANs for different groups for different floors. That's normal. That's a great start. Thankfully, not everything is flat. That's good. But these networks nowadays require something a little bit more dynamic. And this is where we can attach something to the identity of those users, those devices that are authenticating to the network, whether they're IoT devices, whether it's HR, it's IT, whoever it is, that printer in the corner that no one cares about. We can attach a secure group tag to those identities, to those devices. And let's say the posture on those devices changes, then let's change the group tag. Let's not give them the same access that they had before. So let's make things a little bit more dynamic. Let's make things a little bit more scalable. And this is where secure group tags comes in. Cisco TrustSec. Cisco TrustSec can be configured within Cisco Identity Services Engine. So we're going to start that conversation. Let's take a little bit of a look at Cisco TrustSec, where to configure it in Cisco Identity Services Engine. And at the same time, we'll finally get to a whiteboard and we'll draw a couple things up for what secure group tags can be used for. And then over the next couple of weeks, we will spend time doing some configurations here in the lab. So join me and let's begin. Cisco TrustSec is the way to do software-defined segmentation. The whole goal is to simplify the way you're doing access control and the way you're doing policy enforcement on your network. Yes, VLANs will be there. VLANs will always be needed, but there are different things you can do using the identity of those devices. What are these devices? What do they need to access to? So it goes a little bit beyond just tossing things on a VLAN. What is the intent of these devices? And based on that intent, you can start putting together a policy out there. So we're going to use SGTs over the next couple of weeks. In Meraki, we have adaptive policy, which is really what we're also going to do here. Now, as you can see, I am logged into Cisco Identity Services Engine. The nice thing about Cisco ISE are the work centers, and I've spoken about the work centers in previous videos. There's a work center for any large task that you have out there. You can use these work centers to go through the flow. So if you take a look at the work centers, if we go to work centers, you'll see there's a work center for TrustSec. We click on that. Let's click on overview. And everything that you need to set up TrustSec in your environment is here. Now, some of the things that you want to take a look at is just to make sure that your devices are capable to utilize SGTs, that they work with TrustSec. Nowadays, a lot of the devices that you have out there, especially newer devices, should, but always take a look at that compatibility for those devices. There's even third-party devices that can support TrustSec, which means that if you have Cisco switches out there, you might have another component, a firewall or something else that's out there that might support TrustSec that you can also use in your designs. So it's not just a Cisco only thing. So take a look at what supports SGTs out there on the network. Now, as you can see here, there's different components for TrustSec. The secure group tag is what you would assign to, let's say, an identity. So let's say you want your HR users to have a certain secure group tag. This secure group tag would be applied to those users as they connect into your network. Then at that point, you have granular controls of where you want these devices to go. Who should they go out and touch, right? Who should they go out and communicate with? Those are the things that you'll want to start coming up with. Should these devices connect to these servers? When is it not right for these devices to connect to these servers? Like I said earlier, if there's something going on with the posture, perhaps at that point you want to switch a secure group tag. And the nice thing about this is that it's not just the switches. You can have a secure firewall that supports the group tag. So at that point, you have a dynamic policy out there that is solely based on the group tags. And again, we'll see that over the next couple of weeks. But this is where the magic happens for TrustSec. Let's go over, and what we'll do today is we'll take a look at Miro. And as we can see here, this is the whiteboard we'll use just so we can scribble some things down. But what I would do just to put together a little basic diagram here is let's, we're always picking on HR. Let's put together some different tags here. So we're going to have different groups. We have IT, we have HR, and let's say we have some dev folks. Dev folks are always having fun and trying to get into trouble. So we can assign the different tags based on the identity, right? Out of Active Directory, who is this person? Or out of another service, we can assign these group tags in ISE. So let's say, for example, they're 20, then we have 30, then finally we have 40. So now as these folks are authenticating into the switchboard, they can technically be on the same VLAN, because at that point, now you're putting together this identity mapping. And this right here is a very crudely drawn switch that we're putting together. There we go. It's a nice 6-port switch. It's great. So let's say they're connected to the switch. They can technically be on the same VLAN. Typically, you might have them on different VLANs, but if these are all just users, you could put them on the same VLAN. So as soon as Bob from HR connects, Bob will be assigned. You can take a look at his machine, make sure it's healthy, do all the great things, but then Bob can be assigned VLAN 20 because Bob, or SGT 20 because Bob is in HR, right? This VLAN, as an example, can be the same VLAN. So now Bob is going to have this secure group ACL that's assigned to him, to his port of what Bob can reach out to. Does Bob need access to certain resources out there on the internet or out there within the internal network, wherever it is? And then we have Dave. Dave is in IT. Dave is in IT. Dave's going to get tag 30. And now we can control with the secure group ACL where they can go to. And even a step further beyond that, let's say there's a firewall here, a secure firewall. We can assign policy on here based on those tags to allow or stop different devices or apply different security controls from the secure firewall to these secure group tags wherever they go. And these tags really follow, even through the SD-WAN, through the Cisco SD-WAN, there's support. So there are definitely a lot of things that you can do with secure group tag. But let's say we also have Bobby, right? We have Bob and Bobby that are in HR. They're cousins. There we go. Let's say we have Bob and Bobby that's in HR, secure group tag 20, right? That's what we're giving HR. Let's say Bobby has some issues with his machine. We'll swap over his tag to, let's say, 21, because now there's going to be some sort of quarantine tag. Or we want to minimize the access that Bobby has because, his device is not healthy. So we're going to assign him a completely different tag at that point. That's a different SGACL and, of course, different firewall rules that follow that tag for 21. Perhaps we're not going to let them even get that far. Maybe they won't even get to the firewall because we're going to stop them at the switch port. Or maybe we do need to get them to the firewall because we only want these devices to access a quarantine server that we have out there that's going to do some sort of remediation or to allow the help desk to come in and fix some things up. But here, if Bob, Dave, and Bobby, they're all on different group tags, they're all on the same VLAN, but they have different group tags applied to them according to the intent. Who is Bobby? Who is Dave? Who is Bob? What are they doing? Let's create a different tag for them. And as you can see with these tags and the SGACLs that will be on the switch, we can stop Bob, Dave, and Bobby from talking to each other as well, even though they're on the same VLAN, even though they're picking up an IP address from the same subnet. We can do microsegmentation in that form, and we can stop these folks from talking to each other. There are so many things that we can do with secure group tags and Cisco TrustSec. So over the next couple of weeks, we're going to start playing around with my environment here in the lab. We're going to make sure we can authenticate. We can see all these other devices that I have outside of my wireless devices in ISE. We're going to start applying tags to different devices. And we're also going to do that on the firewall. We're also going to create some policies based on secure group tags on the secure firewall that I have here in the lab. This is a great way to do segmentation, especially if you have Cisco Identity Services Engine in your environment. This is something that you can do. And then if you have Catalyst Center on top of that, you can continue in your segmentation journey and maybe even end up in software-defined access. So there are different things that you can do depending on the tools that you have. But the whole point is, let's go above and beyond just VLANs and regular ACLs in your environment. And let's do more to increase that security posture. We'll see you on the next one.